What are the things you want to see from your team the morning after a game that goes that way in practice? Just what are the little things a coach notices out here today?
Energy, excitement, wanting to put the game behind and moving on to the next day. And if we're not striving to get better, and then often you're going to duplicate what happened the night before. I liked our attitude, and we can be disappointed with the game. Absolutely, I think everybody is. But if we dwell on it too long, it doesn't help us. We need to move on. And I think everyone was upbeat and ready for the weekend.
When you put your lines together for yesterday's game, I know there's a lot of unknowns. Do you put it together sort of understanding this might have to change a fair amount here to figure it out?
Absolutely. We've got 2 or 3, maybe 4 things that are going on in our head, and we're thinking what's best. And you can think about what's best for one player or maybe 2 lines, but you're trying to do it for all 4 of them. And, it doesn't matter probably what our lines were the other night. It probably wasn't going to work out just because we weren't in a good mindset to be ready to play Columbus. So, I don't look too much on what the lines were. We put those lines together. It failed us. Doesn't mean that it wouldn't help us tomorrow night against Buffalo or whoever we're playing.
Part of it is what's clicked in the past too, I imagine, right? I mean, tough night for certain players, but you see Fogle with Draisaitl and McLeod. Good opportunity for these guys. Is it as much about what's worked in the past as opposed to what's in the moment?
Well, absolutely. Columbus, we put back to Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, Hyman line together. First period was terrible. Not on them, not on anybody, but just pretty much everybody collectively. And we went back to what we had our lines for pretty much the 5-game winning streak with McDavid and Leon together, and tried to get a spark. It early did in the second period, but just wasn't enough. And I think for the long run, I think it's best for us to do what way the lines are set up right now. But again, that might change as it did last game.
Regarding Troy Stecher, I think he arrives tonight. You got 2 afternoon games. Might he have to wait a little bit to play, or how you would approach?
Yes, the plan is for him to wait right now. Obviously, get acclimated with us, practice a time or 2, and also we've got 6 defensemen that we're very happy with the way they've been playing, and we feel there's no reason to switch that up.
Is there a chance Connor Brown will get in tomorrow?
Yes, the plan is for him to get in this weekend. We haven't decided exactly what game, but the plan is Connor will be coming in soon.
On Stecher, you guys have just had real consistency with the same 6 guys rolling on that back end. But you've now got a guy here that maybe has a chance to contribute. Do you see him having the opportunity to earn some regular time, or is it very much wait and see because you're good with your 6?
I think it's very wait and see. We'll see what we have, and I don't know the player very well. The coaching staff does, our scouting staff does, and the more I see him, we'll get familiar with him. But right now, we're happy with our top 6, and whether we play 7 defensemen, 1 or 2 games to see what he provides. But that'll be something we'll think about after the weekend. But right now, we're happy with our 6.
And being happy with your 6 means letting them all play. So is going with a 7th guy maybe a little bit more likely than actually pulling one of your regulars?
We've been very fortunate that nobody has had any injuries through this stretch. I think Eki at the beginning of the season missed 1 game, and then other than that, I know we've been very fortunate there that we haven't needed anybody. And if somebody's hurt, obviously that's easy. Or maybe if somebody's banged up a little bit, then you maybe get somebody in there. But as of now, we're going to go with our 6, and later on, then we'll reevaluate.
Kris, you've added some guys. A lot of Western Conference teams have really loaded up too. Ken likes to say that he doesn't have a crystal ball and a lot can happen. What gives you the confidence that this group can get the job done in the spring after these additions?
Well, I think once we had a turnaround, you see this team has played very well, and since November, December sometime, I'm going to guess we're 1 to 3 in the winning percentage. The penalty kills made huge strides. Power plays, of course, the power play that's always been. And as for the depth that we had, we've got a little more scoring through our lineup, and it's you look at getting in is the most important thing, and from there, you never know what can happen. And we've been a team that can go play very well, go through streaks, and play some really incredible hockey. Of course, we're going to need that to have success in the playoffs, but it's been shown that we can have that success.
Fans like big names, and not to say any of the three players that you acquired aren't, but given the star power on this team and the past experience, do you think these guys are the kind of the right guys for this group?
Absolutely, that's what we need. We need a little more scoring depth throughout our lineup, guys who can contribute, and I think we got that. And you see so often a big name player comes in and it just disrupts your room, your chemistry with your team. Not that they're bad guys, but it just how the line works and who gets ice time, and you split up a line that's worth working. You're adding a really good player, but it often takes away what your team dynamics.
Kris, you mentioned, of course, your first trade deadline experience at the NHL level. When you guys made those deals with Knoblauch in Columbus, did you hang out in the war room? Did you kind of just wait for a phone call? How was kind of your trade deadline experience?
I think probably more the work or the information that I provided was a lead up to that day in Columbus, where we'd meet regularly with Ken, as a coaching staff individually, giving him as our idea what we needed and where we thought our weaknesses were. And then as Columbus, we checked in a couple times with phone calls and meetings about maybe this is going to happen and what we're giving up and all those kind of scenarios. But most of the communication was done before the day of the trade.